Today I'm going to show you guys, I'm sure many people have driven around the state of Wisconsin and you see these things like what's standing behind me. It's the blue harvester silo. Then you also see these, which is a gray stave silo. And a lot of people, years ago, we used to use them to store feed. And so we still do the same today. So I'm going to show you guys what it's like to take feed out of one of these. So what we do in the summer times, we chop haylage and then we blow it up this pipe right here. We have a machine set here, pumps up the feed, throws it all the way up there, and then it falls down inside. And then once it's inside, it cooks, ferments so that it breaks down, makes it easier for the cattle to eat and also more desirable for them. Then we have right here, this is where the feed comes out. As you can see, these are called doors. And so they go all the way up that chute, all the way to the top. There's one every 2.5 feet. Then we have a machine that's inside that's attached to this cable system right here. And that cable system goes all the way up to the top. Everything has to go through the top. Then we let it down as we're feeding and it hits this conveyor. Then that conveyor takes it there to the next conveyor, to the next conveyor, all the way in. And we drop it into our TMR where we mix it. We have haylage in this one. We have corn sides in this one. Let's go fire it up. So now we're inside the TMR room. So this is where the feed comes in through that conveyor right there and then falls in the TMR. We get full, we'll feed it out. So first things first, we're gonna hit all of our conveyors. Turn everything on. Conveyor 1, conveyor 2, that one's on. And then we're gonna go around and turn everything on. Conveyor 3. So we only need the first 3 conveyors on for the first one. This here's our control panel, so you'll see it, it'll spike, settle back down, that's our amperage. Then we have our 4th conveyor, and then we have this one. And they're going. Now we're gonna check and see all the feed coming in. It takes a little bit for everything to come through, but then once it does come through, as you can see, it'll start dropping feed down. It'll start picking up here too, and then we'll go let it down so that more comes out. And I'll show you guys outside what that looks like. As you can see, we've got feed coming, dropping through this conveyor all the way into that. So as we've got feed coming out here, then we're going to be letting down. So this one will start feeding more out. It's blowing it in down the chute, falls all the way down. So then we've got haylage pouring out of this one. And as you can see, this is all of our haylage coming out of this one. We've got corn salads in this one. Next up, that's how it works. Fill that up until the TMR scale tips, because we feed the same amount of weight to all of our cattle every single day. They get it. TMR stands for total mixed ration, which means we put everything all together in one, feed it to them. For our steers, it helps the steers eat more so they grow faster. And when they grow faster, the younger they are, the better the meat is. So that when people buy meat from us, they're like, hey, this stuff's really good. It is. So it is because we try to take them really young. Try to take them at 22 months and not let them get any older than that. A big part of that is their diet. So they got to have good things to eat or they won't grow. And here in just a moment, we'll fire this thing up, and all this does is tumbles around. So it pulls all the feed from the bottom and tumbles it around the top. And through that rolling motion, it allows everything to mix together really nicely and evenly. And then, once we get it all mixed, it takes 3 to 5 minutes to mix it. We'll mix our haylage and our corn silage in there. We also have a little bit of mineral to help keep them healthy. Keep their digestive system working like it's supposed to. We'll just throw that right in there and it'll mix in with the rest of it. It's filling up now, so we better get it rolling or we're going to have a plug conveyor. So now we've got it rolling. It's going to tumble the feed, pulling it all over. It's pulling it all over to the auger, which works it all in. It tumbles it as we continue to add feed. We'll just pause here for a moment as it moves it. And then we got to go let it down some more so that we get more. We get some more feed coming in. And I know what you guys are probably thinking. If there's any mechanically inclined people who are watching these videos, watching this video, you're probably making fun of me right now because, well, you're probably asking the question why I'm walking all the way outside to lower my silo loaders, especially this first one right here. I'm not handicapped. I know there's supposed to be a chain on here, but this last spring, this motor quit working. It was the middle of planting, which then turned to spraying, which then turned to haying, which turned to harvest, which is where we are now. And as you can see, I haven't had the opportunity to fix it. The weather got better. The weather's been nice. I know come middle of February, I will be regretting if I don't get that fixed. But stay tuned. Stay tuned for the saga of the silo win, because maybe, you never know, one day I just might get out the multimeter and figure out what's wrong with it, but we'll see. Otherwise, this one here, I don't even have an electric winch on yet. I have the wires and everything ran, I just don't have the winch. I have the switch, just got to buy one. I found a few on eBay that I'm after, a few online, but you know, sometimes kids want new shoes and things like that, so I have to put silo loader stuff off to the side, so we'll see what happens. Well, we're full again. We're gonna kick it, and as you can see, our scale right here, those of you who can't tell, set to 300 pounds, set to trip 300 pounds. So not a lot of feed, but it's enough for the animals that we have. And then we mix it up, and it's mixing. So since our scale is now pinging to the top, we're just about full. We're gonna let it run for just another minute with feed coming in, and then we'll shut everything on. And then for actually feeding, you can see our entryway there, but we have this really fancy piece of equipment that we use here on K-Har Farm. It's called a wheelbarrow. It's cheap on gas, a little hard on the back, but yeah, I could use it. So we just set it underneath our exit conveyor. Our exit conveyor goes all the way back underneath our TMR mixer, and that's where that's at. And then we're gonna let that continue to run. We're gonna kick this on. So that's running. It's a reverse direction. It's called a reverse direction conveyor. So the bottom takes the feed, and the top is the return. And then we have, it's pretty dark, we have this handle. Our feed's gonna start to come out. So then, as you can see, our feed comes out, goes up. So we'll let this fill up here just a second. It doesn't take long. And then we shut everything off. And then we have one full wheelbarrow. It takes about 17 to feed all this feed out to all the steers. So everybody gets this once a day. When we used to milk cows, we did it twice a day. It was 24 wheelbarrows, 12 each time. But that was when we had more cattle, and dairy cows eat significantly more than a steer. So they take a lot more feed. But now we just have steers and animals for slaughter. We feed them once a day. They get hay in the morning. But I hope everybody enjoys. That's how we get all the feed out of the silos into our mixer and to the cattle. It's what it looks like when it's coming out, kind of what the process is. If you stick along in the next couple of videos, I'll actually take you up inside one of the silos so you can see what the equipment looks like, what it looks like feed-wise when we're up in there, and how all of that works. So, thanks for watching.